The offseason signings continue for the Worcester Railers ahead of the 2023-24 season, as this time the team's bringing back another familiar face who was with the team last year. Nick Fia joined the Railers last January after getting called up from the Birmingham Bulls of the SPHL, and thanks to his 19 points in 18 games down there, he worked his way up to the ECHL. 8 goals and 8 assists last season in 29 games, and Nick is officially under contract for the 2023-24 season here in Worcester. Nick, welcome back to Worcester.
Thanks. Good to be back. I'm excited for the future, so we'll see what happens.
So before we get into your conversation with Smo, what it was like to come back here to Worcester, first just tell us, how's your offseason been going so far?
So far it's been good. Just training, skating, running some lessons on the side. Um, yeah, staying busy, any way I can. Um, yeah, pretty much just, getting ready for next season and making a push, you know, to get better. And that's kind of what everyone's doing. So it's a fun summer so far.
Now, when you're focusing on your off-season training, do you have like a specific regimen you try to work through each day, sort of consistency you try to find?
Um, Not really. I mean, I'm on kind of a program with different phases right now. So right now we're on the third phase of the program that I'm on. But usually I try and get my workouts and skates done in the mornings, and then kind of have the afternoons to you know run lessons or relax and kind of recover for the next day. So that's kind of what I've been doing this summer so far.
Nick, just to help give the fans at home a little bit more of an idea about who you are as a player or as a person, I should say. Do you have any favorite hockey memories you had growing up, either as a player or as a fan?
Um, I don't think I have one specific favorite memory. I think just, growing up playing youth hockey with all your best friends. I think that's kind of one that sticks out. Being a youngster playing with, like I said, your best friends, kind of building those relationships and even, staying in contact with them. Today, I think just building relationships growing up playing hockey has been kind of, my best memory so far.
I want to start to focus a little bit more about last season and start to talk about the year that you had. You started last year after you wrapped up your time at Wilkes University, going to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton's training camp with the Penguins. And during the preseason, you ended up in Birmingham to start the regular season before coming up to Worcester to play with your childhood friend from New Jersey, Quinn Ryan. Just talk about the process you went through in your first year as a professional.
Yeah, I think starting in Wilkes-Barre kind of surprised a lot of people, maybe even myself. Getting the phone call there to attend camp was pretty cool experience for me, and it was a good experience to kind of get my feet wet in the pro world. And then I kind of, had a month and a half hiatus there where I was trying to find a team, um, kind of waiting on a few things, trying this and that. And then Birmingham kind of reached out and we got something done there. And then, I was there for, I think it was 18 games, and then got the call from Smo, and kind of stuck up with Worcester for the majority of the rest of the season. And, I thought it was a pretty good first year as far as, getting your feet wet in pro hockey and things like that. So I had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to kind of continue and see how far I can take this.
So you made enough of an impression last season. You're signed under contract for next year as well. Talk about what that conversation was like with Smo when it came time to come back to Worcester.
Yeah, it was. He was definitely very receptive of bringing me back, which was kind of nice to hear. Um, I think I don't want to go into too much detail, what we actually talked about, but he was excited to have me back, and I was excited to kind of be back. And I guess I'll just leave it at that. Both parties are excited to get the season started.
Now the team's going to be going back down south for 10 days again this upcoming season. You had 4 points in the team's 6-game road trip last year down south. Just talk about last year's trip down south. How much how that was for you?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think me coming into uh, an already established team, coming in halfway through the year, it's tough to kind of build relationships with people right away. So I think that South trip kind of, you know, gave me a little bit of team bonding and things like that, to kind of build my way into the locker room and things like that. And I think it was a good bonding experience, as road trips usually are. But it was just a lot of fun to be on the road with the guys, rooming with guys. I room with Bodie for most of the trip, and it was good to kind of get to know him a little bit. And we created a pretty good bond there, and I think uh, it was just a lot of fun to play hockey, and then kind of move on to the next city, play hockey there, and just be with the guys.
The team came back up to Worcester, of course. Talk a bit about, if you will, what it was like getting to play here in Worcester in front of the home crowd at the DCU Center.
It was definitely a lot of fun. I mean, we packed the place there pretty much every night, with the occasional maybe Tuesday or Wednesday night where it's a little shy on the weeknights. But those Friday and Saturday night games, a lot of people show up and support us, and we're grateful for that. I mean, not a lot of teams kind of get that support from the fans, and I think seeing it last year, I mean, we had a lot of great fans that would come out to games, and the place would be pretty packed every night.
So, Nick, going into this a year with Worcester coming in, where you're going to be coming in right from training camp, talk about what fans can expect from you this coming season when they come down to the DCU Center to watch you play.
I think just the same game I had last year, kind of a reliable 200-foot player, that can put the puck in the net, and create plays, play with a little bit of grit and sandpaper. Yeah, and I think this summer I'm trying to put a little bit of weight on to kind of accommodate for the men that I'm playing, as it's a step up from college hockey for sure. So put a little bit of weight on, get a little faster, all the things that everyone's doing in the off seasons, but trying to put my own little twist to it to come back, a better player, and have that little edge on guys that I can. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
All right. Well, there you have it. Nick Fia is under contract for the 23-24 season, getting ready to come back as a Worcester Railer this fall. Nick, we're excited to have you back, and we'll see you at opening night on October 21st.
Sounds good. And I'm glad to be back and excited for the season. Thanks, Tim.
All right. Well, there's another signing. We'll have more on the Worcester Railers social media channels as the weeks and months move along this summer. Be sure to stay tuned as we release those along the way.